Guess who just appeared, or rather reappeared, like a ghost from a bad horror movie? None other than Geza, the man who supposedly fled his home with nothing but the panic in his heart and the dust on his heels. And yet here he is, resurfacing, not in rags, not in disguise, not even in civilian clothes, but in full military kit, complete with a neatly hung jacket on the chair behind him, like he's hosting a formal war meeting. Now let's pause and appreciate the absurdity. A man who barely had time to grab a toothbrush before running for his life suddenly has a fresh, perfectly fitting army uniform. What did he do? Raid a military supply store on the way to exile? Or more likely, did he simply get issued one at his new safe house, which, judging by his attire, is probably a place where military gear is the standard dress code? And that, dear viewers, brings us to the real question. Where exactly is Geza hiding? This is not your regular neighborhood safe house. No, this looks more like high-level protection, the kind only available in places like the Josiah Tongogara barracks or a similar high-security military establishment. Because, let's be honest, no self-respecting fugitive wears a full combat uniform unless he's surrounded by people who expect him to wear it. If he were in some underground bunker, would expect him in a hoodie or a balaclava looking like an armed robbery suspect. But no, here he is, dressed like a man still very much in the system, comfortably seated in what appears to be a well-secured location. If Mnangagwa was hoping Geza was in the cold, starving and desperate, this video just ruined his week. And then, of course, we have the grand announcement. March 31. The day Zimbabweans are supposed to flood the streets according to Geza himself. Now, let's not ignore the fascinating little detail that Nyoka Mabunu, the mysterious insider, had already been throwing this date around like confetti at a wedding. Either Nyoka Mabunu and Geza are on a direct speed dial with each other, or Nyoka Mabunu is getting his information straight from the belly of the beast. And that, my friend, is where things get messy for Mnangagwa's regime. Because when dates for mass action start coming from within, and not from your usual activist WhatsApp groups, it means someone on the inside is either part of the plan or feeding the plan. And whichever way you spin it, the government is not in control. And speaking of control, let's discuss the line that probably made Mnangagwa spill his tea. Geza referring to Chienga as their commander. Oh, what a delicious little twist in the cool soap opera. Because now we are looking at two possibilities. Either Chienga is indeed orchestrating this, or Geza and company are simply handing him the throne, whether he wants it or not. And if history has taught us anything, it's that coup plotters don't need permission. Mugabe never handed Mnangagwa the presidency with a ribbon and a smile. Mnangagwa just took it. So whether Chienga is in on this or not, he is now the official face of the alternative leadership. And Mnangagwa can do absolutely nothing about it, except sit in his golden chair and sweat through his scarf. But wait, it gets better. Remember when Mnangagwa, the regime's favorite loudspeaker, told Geza, "Those who are sending you." Remember? At that time, it seemed like a throwaway line. just another old man trying to sound threatening. But now, with the leaked audio that allegedly got Watson Munyaka killed, the picture is clearer than ever. Those who are sending you wasn't some vague threat. It was a direct reference to Chienga and his camp. The government knew it. And now, thanks to Geza, we all know it too. Which means Mnangagwa has been fighting shadows while the real enemy has been right next to him, pretending to be his trusted deputy. Oh, the irony. The crocodile is being eaten by his own children. Or more like the crocodile eating its own tail. And what does Mnangagwa do in response? Well, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Because as Geza so boldly stated, Mnangagwa knows where I am, but he is a coward and can't touch me. And there it is, the ultimate humiliation. The so-called strongman of Zimbabwe is now a powerless spectator, watching as his own men plot against him. If he sends his usual abduction squads after Geza, he risks stepping into a military trap. If he does nothing, he looks weak. Either way, he is done for. The man who once ruled with an iron fist is now just an old man in a scarf, hoping his soldiers don't wake up one day and decide to evict him from State House with the same enthusiasm they used to evict Mugabe. And while Mnangagwa sits in silence, let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer uselessness of the Zimbabwe Republic Police in all of this. Usually they are the first ones to break up protests, block opposition rallies and arrest people for simply looking too hopeful. But this time, silence. Geza openly warns them not to interfere, which suggests one thing. He knows they are powerless in this game. And then, just to confirm their irrelevance, Commissioner General Matanga refuses to sanction a March 20 demonstration, handing over the decision to the Joint Operations Command, JOC, which, as we all know, is run by the army. Translation: the police have finally realized that they are just the errand boys in the regime. And when real power struggle begins, they don't get a say. They've gone from being feared enforcers to nervous bystanders, watching as the real players move chess pieces that are far above their pay grade. And now, the big picture. Mnangagwa is running out of allies. The police won't take decisive action without checking with the army. The army is eerily silent. A silence that usually means something is brewing. His own inner circle is leaking information left, right and center. And meanwhile, Geza is gaining more confidence, speaking with the tone of a man who knows he has powerful backing. The signs are there. This is what the beginning of the end looks like. So, dear viewers, grab your popcorn, sit back, and watch as history repeats itself. Because whether it's tomorrow, next month, or next year, the writing is on the wall. And when the final scene plays out, don't say you weren't warned. Oh, and if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now, because we are about to witness the greatest political drama Zimbabwe has ever seen in decades, and you won't want to miss a single episode.